A solution is a mixture of two or more substances in the same phase. This is formed when a solute dissolved in a solvent. A solution can also be formed when two or more miscible liquids are mixed together. When ethanol and water are mixed together, a solution is formed. Now, how would we separate these solutions? To separate dissolved salt from water, we would simply evaporate as much water as possible, leaving behind the white salt crystals. This separation technique is known as evaporation. To separate ethanol from water, we must take into account the fact that these substances have very different boiling points. Water boils at the 100 degrees Celsius, whereas ethanol boils at 78 degrees Celsius. This mixture can be separated by simple distillation. The lower boiling point component, in our case ethanol, will evaporate first. The ethanol vapor condenses as it passes through the condenser, and the distilled ethanol can be collected in the receiving flask. We know that salt is completely soluble in water and sand is not. How would you separate a mixture of salt and sand easily, keeping in mind the solubility of salt in water? Pause, think, and continue when you have an answer. The salt and sand mixture can be added to water. The salt will dissolve, but the sand cannot. The resulting mixture can be filtered through a funnel lined with filter paper and washed with water to remove as much sand as possible. The substances that remains on the filter paper is known as the residue, and the substance collected in the flask is called the filtrate. For our case, sand is the residue and the salt water is the filtrate. The salt can be obtained using evaporation and the sand left to dry. The same method is used to separate a suspension, which is a mixture of an insoluble solid in a liquid, such as bits of chalk in water.